Hey everybody, let's go ahead and do our April number corner. We have a lot of days to catch up on. So first of all, I want you to look at the month of April. You'll notice that it started on a Wednesday. April 1st is a Wednesday. And I want you to take a minute, look at how many days there are in April. Every year, April has 30 days. So just like every other year, April of 2020 has 30 days. The last day of the month will be on a Thursday. So let's go ahead and look at some of our counters, some of our markers for this month. Let's go ahead and start. I'm going to flip a few and I want you to see if you can figure out what we are focusing on this month. Okay, looking at these ones, if you look here, we have on the first, we have some tiles. 2 of them are red, 10 of them are blue. There are 12 tiles total. If you look on the second, we have a pizza. Somebody was hungry and ate 5 of the pieces, and there's 1 piece of pizza left. On Friday, we have here a clock. And if you look at the minutes, if we're thinking about how many minutes are on a clock, there are 60 minutes on a clock. And the part that's yellow would be 5, 10 minutes out of the 60 minutes. And then if you look at Saturday, the 4th, we have 2 eggs here out of a whole carton. 1 carton of eggs is usually a dozen, which is 12 eggs. So we have 2 out of 12 here. Do you have any ideas about what we're focusing on this month? If you're thinking it must have something to do with fractions, you are right. We are learning about fractions this month. So we can go ahead and let's see. So this one, our fraction was 2/12 of the total are red. 2 out of 12, 2/12. This one, we have 1 piece out of 6, so we would say 1/6. Here we had 10 minutes out of 60 minutes, so we would say that is 10/60ths. And we don't use 60ths very much, but because there are 60 minutes in an hour, that's going to be our denominator, that bottom number. On the 4th, we have 2 eggs out of 12, so 2/12. Okay, let's go ahead, and I have written on the chart here some observations I've made and I've recorded some of what we are doing this month. So let's go ahead and look at that. We have here on the first, we said there were 2 out of 12 tiles were red. That was 2/12. And my observation was 10 of the tiles were blue. On the second, we had 1 piece of pizza out of 6. So that's 1/6. And I noticed that 5 pieces were gone out of the 6 pieces. On the third, I'll zoom it in so you can see a little better. We said that there were 10 minutes out of 60 that were filled in. Now, my observation was we could have looked at this as hours instead. If I was looking at hours, how many hours are there on a clock? There are 12 hours, right? So I have 2 of those hours filled in out of 12. On day 4, we had 2/12 of the carton. I noticed that means 10 out of the 12 were already missing. Someone must have wanted to make an omelet. So let's go ahead and look at day 5. If I flip day 5, we can see a ruler here. And on our ruler, if you notice, it's a 1-foot ruler. If our ruler is 1 foot long, that is 12 inches, and 2 of those are blue. So on our chart here, we said 2 inches are blue out of 12, which is 1 foot, and we would say that's 2/12. And I noticed that 10 of the inches aren't blue out of the 12. So 10/12 were not colored in, 2/12 were. Let's look at the 6th. On the 6th, we have 4 red tiles out of 12 tiles total. So that is 4 tiles out of the 12 are red, which is 4/12. We can also say that means 8 of the tiles are blue. 8/12 were blue. On day 7, we have our pizza again. This time, they weren't quite as hungry. They only ate 4 pieces, which means there were 2 pieces out of 6 left on the pan. So we would call that 2/6. And I noticed that 4 pieces of that pizza are gone. Okay, the 8th day, I need your help filling it in. I did not fill it in yet. So go ahead and help me out. on the 8th day? Let's go ahead and flip it. Oh, we have a clock again. So on our clock, we know that total we have 60 minutes. How many of them are filled in? Well, let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20. So we could say that 20 minutes are filled in out of 60. Now to write that as a fraction, we would say 20 on top, or as our numerator, out of 60. Now you might notice my fractions here are kind of sideways from the way we would normally write that. Normally, the way we often write fractions is we write it as 20 and then a line and then 60. We can also write fractions sideways the way I've typed it, 20 out of 60. And we actually need to know that those two things are the same. So that was two different ways of writing that fraction. On the computer, some fractions are hard to write where we can see right on top and on bottom. So I'm going to write it that way, but it still means the same thing. Okay, so we had 20 minutes are filled in out of 60. If we were looking at hours on that one, how many hours are filled in on that one? Well, the hours that are filled in, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 hours are filled in out of 12. Okay, and that's all we're going to do for today. Tomorrow when we come back, we will flip day 9 and we'll see what that one looks like.